I was bitter on the industry because I felt like my shot was taken away from me unfairly. And I was watching all my friends who were having #1 hits and being on these awards. Like, I couldn't even watch an award show.
Wow.
Because I was like, I should be there. That should be me with them. And not that I wasn't jealous. I was really happy for my friend's success. I just felt like I got the raw end of the deal.
Yeah.
And Tyson would say to me, he's like, you don't play guitar anymore? Or like, I don't hear you singing around the house. You know, like, so that for me, my identity was in #1 songs for, oh my goodness, for 15 years. My identity was, oh, what are you doing now in music? How's Shay? Like, what's your next single? Like, that was the talking point.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I would see people and they didn't know what was going on because I was very good at not putting it out in the media, like, hey, I'm figuring out what I'm doing now because my record label was shut down. I didn't tell anybody my record label was shut down. So then I had to be like, without lying, had to be like, oh, I'm doing great, just working on some music, because I didn't know what to tell people. I didn't want to be like, well, I'm really doing a whole lot right now. I'm like trying to do some, businesses and other stuff. I just felt like people wouldn't not care. I just wasn't used to people asking anything but music. So it was a real struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And it honestly wasn't until I started the other businesses and I realized my identity could be in more than just one thing that I started to get my passion back for music.
Love it.
And then when I realized, you know what, my identity isn't just #1 songs. Like, I'm a businesswoman, I'm a wife, I'm a mom. I've had success in music. Whether I have it again, I need to be grateful for the 10 years I had. And then I was able to be like, no, I love music again. And that's when I decided. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get back into it. But I really had to relearn to love myself. So that's why I was really understanding when Tyson was going through his time, because I knew what it was like. Like, it made sense why he didn't ride a horse at all for a year. Because a lot of people are like, how can you be a cowboy and not even ride for a year? Well, because you're trying to figure out this identity struggle and trying to figure out what your next step looks like. So it's dang sure a challenge. Thankfully, our identity crises didn't last as long as some people's.
Yeah.
But I'm just at a great point now because I feel like I feel finally like I'm myself again, in my mid-30s, kids, businesses, but I do feel like I had a little bit of mom guilt for a while, getting back onto my career and doing my own thing. I did. I knew I would be judged. I knew there would be a lot of criticism because obviously family and kids and everything comes first. But I also knew that by me doing this, that I was being a good example to my kids and to my family to show my girls that, yeah, my mom's still out there doing it. And they love it. They come with us. They totally embrace it. But I do get mom guilt. I mean, I have a kid at home right now who's sick. And I didn't want to come out because I was like, she's sick at home. But, thankfully I have my parents live in the U.S. as well. So I have people to help.
Yeah.
I had to realize it's okay to have people helping you because I did not like to delegate. I like to do everything myself. And it was a real struggle to let other people help me because I felt like if I couldn't do it by myself, I shouldn't be doing it at all. But I really had to start to delegate. Even with the businesses, like we had the belt buckle company, which I have some amazing girls trained up there and great factories we work with. We sell belt buckles worldwide. I've made you one.
Yeah,
so,
I can't wait to start showing it.
I can't wait till you see it. And then we have our kids' clothing line. Now, as a little girl, I just dreamed of like modeling for Western brands. I never in my wildest dreams thought I'd have a clothing line of our own. But when I started having kids, I noticed there was just no cute like Western stuff. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. So I originally started by approaching other brands, like big brands, Wrangler, Rock and Roll Denim, lots of companies like, hey, will you work with me? I want to do a kids' clothing line. They all told me no. I'm like, fair enough. Well, one door closes, I'll find another way to open one. So I decided to do it myself.
Wow.
I met a lady at a ClickFunnels concert of all things. Tyson met a lady, and she had a very successful company, and she was nice enough to introduce me to the right people. And we went from Sha Baby just doing little Western boots in a year to having the first year we were in like 300 stores. I think our first store was like Cavendish and Buc-ee's. So our garage turned into our warehouse because we didn't even have a warehouse. And I had, 15,000 kids' clothing sitting in my garage. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to figure out how to do this. I don't know. I didn't know anything about business. I just knew that I could sell stuff. I knew how to sell. And I was like, the rest will figure it out.
Yeah.
Now we're in like 2,500 stores throughout the U.S. So we do a lot of the bigger ones like Cavendish and Buc-ee's, Murdoch's. A lot of the farm and ranch stores carry Sha Baby. So it's amazing that we go from I mean, Tyson told me a few times to shut the company down because he's like, you're spending way too many hours and you're not making enough. But I was determined. I was like, I don't quit something. So just kept pushing. So for 5 years, we probably made $30,000 a year. And then, now we're a 7-figure company. And
wow.
We still run it out of our ranch. We're at that phase that we're going to start building a new warehouse because we can only build on so much at the ranch. But we have a great team of all women in the company, which is cool. Most of them are mums.
Nice.
So I know that as a mom, it's hard to work and stuff. So I really try and cater around dropping their kids to school and picking their kids up. I'm like, we're going to make this a fun women environment, be a bunch of badass women. So yeah, we run it from the warehouse in Texas and ship worldwide. It's crazy because sometimes I think back and I'm like, I just never would have thought, this would be where I'd be at now. Nor did I think when that door shut in Nashville and I was just so devastated that would have meant that gave me time to create businesses and have the ability to now be able to do music without the pressure of having to have a record label and be able to do it on my terms.
Yeah.
Obviously financially you have to support yourself if you're independent, but seeing how everybody is embracing that these days in music. People love an independent artist. They love seeing somebody who's doing it on their own accord.
What a journey. Wow. I can't wait to see what you do next, honestly.
I know,
I'm really inspired.
It'll be fun. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, we'll link the Sha Baby stuff and your Instagram. And you got a new single out too, right?
Yes. So my new single is called Allen Cowboy, and I actually co-wrote it with Walker Hayes. He's had a bunch of #1 songs in country music the last couple of years. But Walker's story is great too because when I first moved to Nashville, he had just lost, I think, his 3rd record deal. And he had these songs. Everybody said they would never work. The songs he released to radio that went #1 were songs he'd had previous. But it was just the wrong timing. So I feel like everything is all about the right timing. And I look at Walker now and going to Nashville, I see we would sit in songwriting rooms, and he's obviously a very good-looking, great guy. You never felt uncomfortable writing with Walker. He was he loves his wife. He's so family orientated. They have 6 kids, had 7 kids. And, but he was the type of guy you could songwrite with and then go to the bar afterwards, have a drink, and then he'd go home to his family and you go home and do your thing. But it was very hard to find. I'm not saying guys are bad in Nashville, but a guy like that was so trusting and has all he did was brag on his wife the whole time. It was wonderful.
That is beautiful. Shout out to him.
I know, it's great. So I love to see all his success because he dang sure couldn't barely fill his car up with fuel to get home. And I just love that he's blown up and such a humble person. Like when we wrote this song, I'm like, hey, can you help co-produce this song? And so we did. And I'm yet to get a duet. I'm like, Walker, we need to do a duet together. Come on, help a girl out here. But he's now with a major label. So obviously there's a lot more, he has to answer to other people, but yeah, it's a really cool story. I love that we were both able to go from those stages to now starting to have more success.
So you knew him for a while.
Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode.